I've seen the kind of disappointment that comes when you grab a cheap, all-in-one home gym on a flash sale and then realize the frame wobbles, the weight stack can't handle a serious squat, or the accessories never actually fit together. That hesitation sits heavy in the chest of anyone who's ever tried to turn a spare room into a legit workout space. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Altas Strength 3087B Smith machine tries to promise the full gym experience without the commercial price tag, but the real question is whether it lives up to that promise or just looks good on paper. First off, the machine is marketed as a complete home gym, and that claim isn't just marketing fluff. The frame is built from heavy-duty steel that feels more like something you'd find in a small commercial facility than in a living room corner. That matters because a sturdy base is the foundation for safe, progressive training, especially when you start loading the 180-kilogram stack for compound movements. In the real world, that translates to confidence when you're doing a barbell squat or a bench press without worrying that the whole thing will tip over. The dual-action press arms are the first feature that sets this model apart from the basic Smith rigs you see in garage sales. They let you perform both a standard overhead press and a more natural, slightly angled movement that mimics a dumbbell press. For a homeowner who doesn't have space for a full barbell setup, this can be a game changer. I've watched a few friends use the arms for shoulder work, and they reported that the range of motion feels smoother than the stiff, single-track designs you get on cheaper models. The trade-off is that the arms add a bit of complexity to the adjustment knobs, so you'll spend a minute or two getting the right height before each set. Leg development is often the Achilles heel of home gyms, and that's where the leg developer attachment steps in. It essentially gives you a standing leg press that can handle up to 180 kilograms, which is impressive for a home environment. In practice, the leg press feels solid. The sled moves along a guided rail without the wobble you get on low-end machines. If you're someone who prefers squats but can't afford a power rack, this gives you a viable alternative that still hits the quads and glutes. The downside is the footprint. The leg press column extends well beyond the base, meaning you need a clear area of at least 8 feet in length. In a cramped apartment, that could be a deal-breaker. One of the most compelling aspects of the Altas Strength 3087B is the claim of 24 attachments for a wide variety of exercises. In reality, you do get a decent bag of accessories: a pull-up bar, low-row handles, a dip station, a preacher curl pad, and a few ankle straps. I've seen users assemble a full upper body circuit lat pull-downs, rows, triceps push-downs, biceps curls all without leaving the machine. The practical strength here is the convenience factor. You can swap from a chest press to a lat pull in under a minute. However, the weakness is that the attachments are all steel cable-based, which can feel a bit rough on the hands compared with the coated cables you find on pricier rigs. You'll probably want to invest in a pair of decent gloves if you plan to use the high-rep, low-weight range. Who should seriously consider this machine? If you're a dedicated lifter who wants to train the full spectrum presses, rows, squats, and leg presses without renting a commercial space, the Altas Strength 3087B offers a compact, all-in-one solution. It's also a solid pick for families where multiple users have different goals. A parent can do bench presses while a teen uses the leg developer for soccer conditioning. The price point sits in the mid-range for home gyms, so you're paying more than a basic Smith cage but far less than a full power rack plus separate leg press. Who should walk away? If you're limited to a true studio apartment, the machine's width and especially its length with the leg developer will dominate your floor plan. Also, if you're an advanced powerlifter who relies on free weight bar paths and wants to load more than 180 kilograms for heavy squats or deadlifts, the Smith track will feel restrictive and the weight stack will hit its ceiling quickly. In those cases, a traditional rack with a separate squat stand and free plates will serve you better. A practical strength that often gets overlooked in reviews is the noise level. Because the weight stack uses a selectorized pin system and the cables run through sealed pulleys, the machine stays relatively quiet, just a soft clank when you change plates, not the loud clatter you hear on cheap rubber-coated stacks. That makes it viable for households where you can't blast music at midnight. On the flip side, The machine does require periodic lubrication on the rail and the cable pulleys. It's not a set-and-forget piece. Skipping that maintenance will cause the bar to drift over time, which can affect